life in the fast lane. I ain't worried about the cops. A bad bitch on the right of me. She love it when we ride it in the drop. I introduce her to the high life. She wanna travel around the globe.
Okay, so I'm from Huntsville, Texas. I was born in Huntsville, Texas, but I grew up in Houston, Texas, so I rep H-Town. And as you know, Houston, Texas is a really, really big city. And yeah, like I grew up in Houston, Texas. That's where I went to school at and everything. So I've been doing music for probably since I was 14, and I've been in the industry probably since I was about 15. I got my first record deal when I was 15, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I got into music because I've always been a singer. I've always been somebody who, you know, I've always been somebody who always was in plays. I was always the one, you know, doing talent shows. I was always writing my own songs and everything. So I knew it was inevitable for me to become an artist, you know, once I got older. So that's pretty much how I got in the music industry. What is your current thoughts on the music industry? I feel like the music industry is always changing. I feel like the music industry is always going to change. It's always going to evolve. It's never going to be the same. I feel like every 5 years it's going to change. And you just got to be able to adapt to that change. If you don't adapt to that change, you're going to get left behind. So that's pretty much how I feel about the current state of the music industry right now. I feel like it's cool. You know, a lot of people have their feelings about it, but, you know, I don't really see nothing wrong with it. I feel like as technology progresses and everything goes on, you know what I'm saying, everything is going to change. So, you know, I like it. How do you separate yourself from other artists? I feel like I tell my story. I feel like I talk about real situations that I've been through personally. With me, it's not a gimmick. I talk about things that I've actually been through. Yes, I have a range of things I talk about within my album and with my music. You know, with High Life, it's about partying. It's about getting your, you know, having your best life and everything. But I have a song called "Cheated on Me," which is about, you know, getting cheated on and, you know, not knowing if you want to bring that lover back into your life. I talk about songs like, you know, New Chick, where I have a new person in my life, and, you know, now that person wants to get back into my life. I have songs about my family. I think songs about, you know, my dad not being there for me, things like that. So I talk about real situations, and I can also really sing. So, you know, a lot of people in this industry, they can't sing. They rely off of Pro Tools, or they rely off of, you know, things to make them sound good in the studio. But then when it comes time to sing live, they really can't sing at all, which is not like that for me at all. So, and I also write all my music and also co-produce or produce my beats as well. So, I think that separates me. I'm just an all-around artist, and I also write for other artists as well. So, I think that separates me from a lot of other artists. Who influenced my style? I feel like a lot of people. Keith Sweat. I listen to a lot of old R&B music. Keith Sweat, Gerald Levert, Mary J. Blige, Monica. I feel like they really, you know, influenced my style. I love Aaliyah. I love a lot of people. A lot of people from the 90s and 80s, even Motown artists like, you know, Marvin Gaye and people like that. What aspects of the music making process excites you, and what aspect discourages you the most? What really excites me is pretty much, you know what I'm saying, getting to touch a lot of people that, you know, really love the music that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? When I get messages and DMs from people that be like, oh, that song really helped me through something. Or if I talk about like, oh, you know, your song really, you know, changed my mood and stuff like that, or maybe, you know, made me really feel some type of way, I feel like I did my job. And also I love creating in the studio. I love creating, I love writing, I love just doing music. I love being in the studio. I love everything about the studio. I love performing too. So I think pretty much that's the good part. The bad part that discourages me about making music is the business. You run into a lot of people that will take advantage of you, will take you for your money, you know, leave you broke. And I've been through several situations like that, to where, hell, when I moved to Atlanta, you know, I was signing with a management, and he literally only used me for my money. There was nothing that was done. I gave him thousands upon thousands of dollars, and it just didn't work out. And I literally had maybe one session, and I spent thousands of dollars, and nothing was done with that. And that's when I had to realize that money has to be made before money is given. So if you get with the manager and he's talking about, oh, you have to pay them first, or if you gotta pay them this and that, you've done nothing, don't pay them, because really you can use that money to invest in yourself. So I could say the business. I don't like the business. I don't like the politics of the industry, but I still have to go with it because I'm in the industry. So I feel like that's something that discourages me. But you gotta keep going. If you love music, you gotta keep going. So that's pretty much my pros and cons when it comes to the music industry. What would you like? Who would you like to work with in the future? I would love to work with Tory Lanez. I would love to. I think he's really, really dope. I would love to work with Summer Walker. I would love to work with of course, Beyonce. I would love to work with Megan Thee Stallion, the Baby, Lil Baby. So many people. If you could describe to your fans in one word, what would it be and why? If you could describe your fans in one word. Okay. If you can describe your fans in one word. I mean, I just go with my supporters. I really don't have one word for them, but just my supporters. You know, they're my people that really, you know, hold me down. I'm still building my fan base. So I haven't really given them a name yet, and I haven't really, you know, given one word to describe my fans. But I will say that they're loyal. That's one word that I would say about my fans. The fans that I do have, they are very loyal. The fans that I've had since I was 16 when I dropped my first mixtape, you know, when I was doing my first album, you know, them fans had grown with me, and I'm 19 now, so them fans have really grown with me over the years, and I've got new fans, you know, so I'll say they're very loyal. Every time I don't post a lot on social media, which I probably need to get back to doing, but when I do, you know what I'm saying, they support me, you know, they stream my music, and I really appreciate the fans that I do have out right now, and I hope to keep growing my fan base. Which latest songs, videos, or mixtape releases are currently available to your fans, and where can they hear or download them? Okay, so I started off on SoundCloud, so you could probably go, if you type in Cameron Hailey, CameronHailey, and I have a mixtape based on a true story. I dropped that when I was 16 years old. That was originally the first album I was supposed to release under Universal, but it just didn't really work out like that. And so I ended up getting to keep the masters. I put it out as a mixtape, so it's really an unreleased album. And because a lot of people get confused by that. And then I dropped a single called One Call. It was originally supposed to be on the Love Child album. That song kind of did well for me. And I have another single called High Life. High Life can be available on SoundCloud, can be available on all digital platforms: iTunes, Tidal, Spotify, YouTube, everywhere. So High Life Part 2 featuring O'Shea. That's the current single I'm pushing. And I also have a new single coming out, High Life, the remix with Solo Lucci, which will be coming out in a couple months, or probably in a month or so. So just y'all stay tuned. Please stay tuned. And thank you for having me.